You're watching the Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
Hey, happy Monday. We got
Monday,
Robbie in the house. We got John in the house. Let's see.
Robbie Bills is here, man.
I know. We have, let's see. We had Dave Cerrone I saw dropped in. Marcus, Larsman, Preston.
I saw all the usual
62
suspects.
Lefty, Josh, Ron, what's going on? John Spilios, what's going on, buddy?
John Spilios, man. I hear you weren't feeling so well, man. I hope you're feeling better, bud. Glad you were able to join us.
Joel. Let's see, who else?
Rubenstein just walked in. It's Monday. Everybody's checked in. Creative Keep. What do we have to sell these
Creative
people?
Keep. Nothing.
I'm
It's going to be a real short show.
Just answered today.
Yeah, right.
I'm just showing you stuff for my collection. I'm not selling any of this.
So Mikey G's in the house. So I know you were at a con on Friday, or you left on Friday to go to the con, right, Robbie?
Well, I left Thursday, but I was there Friday and Saturday. Heroes Con.
All right. So hold on, we got Nick in here. There's already chatter in the chats about the 4-issue connecting covers. So you might want to address that.
All right. So what am I addressing first? The 4 connecting covers?
Yep. We haven't even started anything. We're just finding out about Robbie's weekend at the con.
All right. So I will say this, that Robbie got detained in the red room.
Yikes.
Nice.
I did.
So we're specifically, look, it's as simple as this. John's been wanting, not this John, John S. has been wanting the Punisher connecting covers for like the last 6 months. It's taking Ken forever to finally do them. So we will definitely give him first opportunity. Rex, real quick, while we're waiting, what are the best offer items?
All right. I think we only have one best offer item.
Only one?
I think so. Let me look. Let me double check.
Is this highest bid gets to be Punisher for a publisher for a day?
Right.
Oh, Punisher for a day might actually be better.
Right? No, I think we only got one. All right. So the best offer book is The Amazing Spider-Man number 37, signed in silver by Nick Spencer. Suggested retail is $69.99. It is our best offer book starting at $19.62, signed in silver, and number 2 of 40.
I don't even see it.
It's there. It's got to be there.
It's got to be
It's a
there.
little crowded.
It's a little crowd. Oh, here it is.
There you go.
How horrible would that be? This book.
Oh, there it is.
I was wondering why you were looking for it.
Well,
Maybe you wanted to read it.
All right, Lars Man is already in on.
Thank
You
you,
got
Dan.
Lars Man.
All right. Why don't we do another best offer just for fun?
Okay.
Let's take the Purgatory Metal book. I don't think we've ever done a metal book as a best offer.
Hold on, I gotta find it on my shoe. Okay, go ahead.
So the Purgatory Metal book. Let's start this at $1, and it'll go to best offer.
All right, best offer for $1. All right, so that's the Purgatory number 1 Virgin Premium Metal cover by Antonio Fuso.
All right. So We
I'll
did.
buy that for $1.
We did one. How many people we got in all the rooms? JD or Kyle or
I think it's Jay.
Jay.
All right,
And
Lars,
Lars,
man, I
man.
got you, buddy.
Already 25 on Purgatory. All right, Lars, man. You the man. All right, so how many people we got in all the rooms, Jay?
17,000.
Hey, Joel, you're a little bit behind, buddy. So Lars man's already at 25.
He came back at 32.
32.
Joel at
Okay.
32. Gotcha, buddy.
So the artist formerly known as Jesse Say What Station, Jesse. If you count the multiverse, we have 500 people watching.
Which multiverse?
Hit those likes. Nick say they are free. Likes are free. Support is priceless. All right, so we've got a thing tonight. If we get 50 people in the house tonight through all our platforms, and we get 50 people in the house Wednesday through all our platforms, we are taking July 4th off, but we will be back July 6th. And if Robbie's up for it, we'll do a 1-2 punch. Instead of Robbie being here on Monday the 4th, Robbie comes in a little bit the 6th with AR, and we do 2 YouTubers to really hammer in Wednesday, because Wednesday the 6th, we're going to have, hopefully, 3 big giveaways. But you guys are going to play a huge part of this. If we get 50 viewers tonight, and if we get 50 viewers Wednesday, and if we get 50 viewers on July 6th, we are giving away a complete set. Josh went, I have 2 cats.
Actually, did you read Lars man's? Go up to and
I am restreaming this on my OnlyFans page. So we are giving away, got 17 on YouTube and 3 on Facebook. All right, how many on Twitch? We got to count Twitch. So we got 20 people so far.
So just to be clear, though, it's active viewers, not views after the fact.
Active viewers while we're live. So tell your friends in the next hour and 40 minutes if you want to get us up to 50. So we got to get 50 tonight, 50 Wednesday, and 50 Wednesday, July 6th. Now, so Larsman is updating his OnlyFans page. I knew it. Now, if we get 70 fans tonight and 70 fans on Wednesday and 70 fans on Wednesday, July 6th, we are also going to give away a complete signed set, signed by Garth and Derek. These are heavy. Look at how big they are.
You can work out with them as well as you read. You can work out those arms. That's what Jim Mint does, right? That's what he's been doing.
I'm telling you, it's been working for him. So, and these are signed by both Garth and Derek. All right. Now, who here saw Herogasm on Friday or since Friday? Have you guys noticed how many views last week's show had? Yeah, Wirpenstein, we can't believe it. Over 950 views. Robbie, did you hire some Russian bots?
Well, yes, actually, but not for this show. For my OnlyFans account.
So your OnlyFans.
You're welcome.
No, the best part of Friday's show, actually, Love Sausage was great. When they first went to the house in Vermont was great. But that fight scene has been the battle scene I've wanted to watch the entire 3 seasons. Friday's episode was the best episode of all. And it was just fantastic. Now, if we get to 100 viewers tonight live through all platforms, and 100 viewers Wednesday, the 29th, through all platforms, and 100 viewers on July 6th through all platforms, we are going to give away Homelight, or is it Starlander? Check it out. So we took a vote on Wednesday whether we give both to one
Marcus,
person.
I'm too young to watch that show. I hear that a lot, man.
The Boys and Miss Marvel are the best shows on TV right now.
Yeah.
So if you move it, so do you call it The Marvel or Boys Miss? Oh man, I'm terrible. So we're going to give these away separately. The unsigned set and the signed set will be given away as a lot. These two will be given away separately. So Anthony Starr and Erin Moriarty, serial numbered on the back, sealed. Ace Comics, Ace Universe. Father
Nice.
Flanagan just called and said that the entire population of Boys Town is viewing the show tonight in honor of the series. That's funny. All right, so hopefully John will show up because, look, we're going to try and
John
get...
Spilios is here.
He's here.
You're here?
Yeah. He's
I didn't
definitely
see him.
Yeah, that was in the earlier part of the chat.
Oh.
So he is here.
Oh, so I showed up and he left. I get it.
So let me double check.
He's checking his bank accounts, is what he's doing, Nick.
I'm not sure what you and Nick had me come here.
You want to read the new comic book day anyway.
That's true. I do need
2
to
days in
So-
advance. Yes, John Spilios is here.
All right, so did he claim it?
No, we haven't put anything up. We literally were just talking about
Ah.
Robbie's weekend at the con and when he came in.
All right. Let's do this since everybody's being so
Sir,
patient.
if you need this much time, you're going to have to sponsor the show.
All right. We've got number 19 of this Stray Dogs cover signed by Tony Fleeks. And for some reason, we have a barcode here. So we'll start this at $1
Oh,
Nice.
All right, hold on.
So we'll start it as $1. All right.
Best offer. Okay.
John claims this.
What are you claiming, John?
I'm pretty sure we know what he's claiming. Do you
No
have
idea.
this? Do you have this image?
You should, Jay. And it's connected.
Lame.
Nope.
Nope, the 4 cover, buddy.
I almost feel like this is the outtakes of the show,
Yeah, right.
and there's no actual.
It's one big outtake. Marcus 10K.
There we
You
go.
got 20 on Stray Dogs.
All right.
Say, ooh, Preston, got it, buddy.
You guys knew we had look, when we first gave this a sneak peek a few weeks ago, we said John had to have first dibs on this. So
All right.
you know
John,
we
the price, I might.
it's not 10K. Let's make it 9,000 for John. No, I'm only kidding.
Well, I'll take an extra 1K in commission. All right, so John.
Whoa! If we do 9K, the most you get is 5%. That's 450.
Wow. Show's over.
What's your best price, Nick?
People are like, did I tune in to CNBC? What is going on here?
Show's
We
over.
are going to try and do a few more, not only of this cover, but a few other classic Marvel and DC covers.
All right, so John, I know you're claiming this, but I thought you might want the price as well. Amazing Spider-Man #1, 4 connecting covers, sketch art by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $399.99, and we have it for a bajillion dollars. No, I'm kidding. $299.99, John. I'm going to put you down here
Unless you say pass.
unless you say pass.
Our pleasure, John. Our pleasure. I got one other thing that I've had for a few weeks that I found in my personal collection that has John's name all over it. But if John passes, it's up for anybody else. This is from 2005. It's not on the show. Okay. This is a laser cell. This is from Lasermock, who we worked with back in the day. There's only 500 of these. Yeah, Lars, I can't wait to see how he frames it too. This is number 343 of 500. You've got Tim Bradstreet background from the Garth Ennis Punisher series. I forget what the series was called, but it was.
That's from Bourne. That image in the back.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So Derek Robertson, and you've got Michael Zeck in front of it. So I don't know. These could go for as much as $100. We're gonna give John first shot at this. He's been away for 2 weeks. He told me why, and I understand. So I'm gonna make it $50. John gets first shot. If John says pass, then the next person who claims it can have it.
That's beautiful.
So
That's
I gotta
cool.
tell you, this is gorgeous in person. I love this. It is so awesome. And these guys were a Marvel licensee and now makes these for Disney, just for the Disney parks. So claim $50. You got it, John.
All right, John.
This is definitely a huge winner, buddy. Guys, Get us up to 100 viewers tonight, Wednesday, and next Wednesday. And like I said, if Robbie's up for it, we're going to have 2 tubers next Wednesday.
I'm down.
Robbie... All right. So let's get you guys to... Let's get the show to 100 live viewers. And let's get these bad boys, well, bad boy, bad girl, right? Let's get these out to you guys.
Yeah. Come on, y'all.
I mean,
share the love.
Good enough for Homelander. She's really not.
Well, we could talk about Friday's episode, but I think that would be bad in case people haven't seen it. But I gotta tell you, best, huh?
What? I'm asking John again. What are you, his dad or something?
I love
Not good enough,
man.
Best episode to date. That fight was so great because I gotta tell you, the way they've shown Homelander, he's been the ultimate bully. And when you saw, I'm not going to talk about Friday's show too much. All I'm going to say is, up until Friday's show, the way he was afraid of Soldier Boy, you wouldn't have thought that he would have went all in at that point. But he did. He showed that he was not afraid to fight. He was worried, but and that was a great fight scene. You guys got to see it. And there was a naked Huey.
Oh,
Plus in the pink robe.
You can fast forward that. But I'll tell you right now who my favorite Homelander is. My favorite Homelander is the Homelander in the mirror.
And we're not going to talk any more about that.
That's my favorite Homelander.
All right, let's get back to selling.
Alert.
So
it's 8 o'clock. We're done. Sorry.
$1 stray dog start. I think somebody jumped in already.
Yeah, somebody jumped in already. So.
I picked this up today during my travels. This is going to go in John Philios' box too.
Wow, John to John. Look at what John Cole got you. This is a gift.
They're kind of just hard to find, apparently.
They're very hard to find. This was a great one. You got to remember, Joe Duffy actually finished the Punisher miniseries by Stephen Grant and Mike Zeck. She finished it with Mike Vosberg. So there you go, John. This is also yours, and at the low price of free. Road Collecting, what's up, man?
What's up,
Zahak?
Yes, the Brody Lee shirt. Rest in peace, Brody Lee.
Rest in
Love
peace,
this
man.
guy.
So, all right.
Well, then we've already had an exciting start to this show, y'all.
I know.
Everybody, get your parents, call your kids, tell them to tune in. Let's get this show up to the 50, 75, 100 plus
I
viewers.
really hope
Come on.
Sausage and banana pepper pizza and not like fruit on pizza because I'm going to pull the plug on this right now.
You don't know where the plug is.
Well, okay, I'll tell you about that real quick. Okay, so I got a buddy, Bearded Comic Bro, right? And he does a cooking show. And all of his cooking shows are themed through like comic book recipes from like the cookbooks or the like comics, right? So I was like, man, you should make one of these turtle pizzas. Because on Rockin' Robbie Live, I've been going through season 1 of the original Turtles cartoon. And,
nice.
and I've been writing down all the different pizzas that they eat. And I gave him a list. And one of them is banana and sausage. And he goes, I can make that taste good. So he's like, he caramelizes the bananas. He gets this fine sauce. He did a video about it. It's up on Bearded Comic Bro. It looks delicious. I would totally eat it. Totally.
John,
but I don't think the turtles ate it that way. I think they just put sliced bananas on just regular pizza, probably.
Yeah, but your friend improved upon it.
Yes.
Plus, those were imaginary bananas. As was the pizza. So, John, I'm going to speak for me, and I think for John as well. Your being here when you can is thanks enough. All of you guys being here when you can is all the thanks we need.
Without you guys, it's just me pestering Nick for books that he can't possibly publish fast.
By the way, this is 2 hours where I don't hear John Cole pester me. So, thank you guys.
Next week's show, 6 hours.
But notice, Nick keeps walking in, so he kind of likes it. You know, he just won't admit it.
No, I want you guys to help elevate the channel and the show. Get us to 100 viewers today, Wednesday, and a week from tomorrow so that I can give these away.
Sheldon in the house. What's going on, buddy?
Bearded Comics way too
It's true.
They call me people neckbeards and pro wrestling fans, that's 7/8 of them.
All right, let's do a recap.
Of what?
Well, a lot of books became best offer.
There's nothing to recap. Put your paper down.
I'm recapping. I don't care what you say. Okay. Actually, I would eat it, Steve B.
I've done that. No, I just saw
like
that.
anchovies. I like Spam. I like pizza. So
you have to use blush sauce so it doesn't get too spicy or too acidic. You can't if you use just a straight red sauce. It gets a little. I've done that before. I've done cubed Spam that I've thrown in the air fryer, pulled it out, and anchovies.
That's interesting information I did not know. All right, now for the recap. All right, so Stray Dogs, Dog Days #1, horror homage variant signed by Tony Fleeks. And it was going to be $29.99, but we're doing it as a best offer book, and Preston is in the lead at 20.
Has this book even been shown once to be recapped? I don't remember seeing this.
I've never seen it. See?
People are like, did I miss the first hour of the show?
An absolutely great cover. Right? Evil Dead 2 homage. Tony's a super cool guy, friend of the show. I got to meet him and hang out with him a little bit at Heroes Con. He's been on my show before, so we already knew each other, but it was cool. He's a super cool guy in person hanging out.
I don't know how many more of these that we have, but I just keep going through the long box, and if I see another horror poster for homage, I just been pulling.
The juxtaposition of horror and Stray Dogs wakes everybody up.
Well, it's been real
popular,
what I mean?
Too. Like that's not something you see every day.
And it's kind of cool, you know.
And Tony and Trish were telling me about their next project. Everybody who loves Stray Dogs is going to love this one just as much. I guarantee it.
Very cool. That's good. That's good news.
That's actually a great segue to let people know. Check out Robbie's show.
Yes, Pop Culture Philosophers.
Jay, if you can throw up a link to Robbie's show at some point.
Get a chance.
Not only does he have good content and information, Vic doesn't bomb onto his set and burn 20 minutes of the show.
So market stray hamsters.
Stray hamsters, nice.
That was literally an idea they were talking about with me, was hamster stuff.
Thank you, Jay. Seriously, all jokes aside, Robbie we talked about this before, puts a lot of the stuff in context. It's a little bit more of a content-driven show. It's not just, what does Robbie call old guys or Alec calls it old guys at the table, and just screaming about comics or whatever.
All right, so then we had Amazing Spider-Man #37, signed in silver by Nick Spencer, suggested retail of $69.99. It is a best offer book, and Lars Mann is currently in the lead at $19.62.
What's the deal? Is he on Krakatoa? I don't think I've read this book. Is he in the Savage Land or something? I'm trying to figure out.
These were like dinosaur creatures that were living under the sewers, if I remember right, but I could be remembering wrong. But I think that's what was going on.
All right, and then we had Purgatory #1, Virgin Premium Metal cover by Antonio Fuso, suggested retail of 100, and Joe L is in the lead at 32.
Unfortunately, the picture, we talked about this before.
I know.
The picture does not do this cover justice. You know what? Hold on a second. Stop. I'm going to just put it up there and see if we get a better image. Because this thing is so nice.
You get a heavy reflection, but when I try to scan it comes out super
dark. I know. I want people hopefully maybe see this a little.
Yeah, it's like trying to take a picture of a mirror.
Yeah, it's just, I'm just trying to maybe get
and this way we know that those buildings are part of the cover, and it's not that Rex took the picture standing outside downtown or something like that. I've always loved Antonio Fuso's work. Always loved it. He did this book called Weird that was amazing. I loved it.
If there's any downside to metal covers, it's they're hard to photograph and throw on. You know what I mean? Like to see how cool they are.
You actually need a professional photographer to do it with the lights and to be able to move off the reflection.
Well, the good news is our terribleness will decline because Amy's back. Thank God.
Nothing can save people from our terribleness.
That's true. Thankfully, Amy came back, though. I lost the betting pool. I was pretty sure Amy would move on. She likes the show, so she'll stick around a little bit. But when I walked in today, I'm like, really? You're here?
All right. So now that we know John...
Thank God for us, right?
Have I tried a flatbed scanner? I have not, Lars, man.
Do we have one here?
I don't even know what it is.
You know what? I think there's one on Mariana's desk. I don't think it's plugged in or anything. I think there's a ton of comics on top of it.
But by the time I figure it out, it'll be next year. She escaped the leprechauns. I assume that she did. She came back in one piece.
Next
Like
year,
she had a great time.
Next year will be liquid covers. The books will be in glass already.
All right, before we go to the break, let's throw another book up there. Action Comics number 1000, 1940s variant cover, signed in silver by Dan Jurgens. And we have one available, number 5 of 25, signed in silver. It is one of our 5-star books at $50.
Nick will probably know this too much. Wayne, I think yesterday, today, or tomorrow is Dan Jurgens' birthday, right?
I don't know, is it?
Maybe Nick will weigh in a little bit if he. I think his birthday is either today or maybe yesterday. But when I saw this in the email, I was almost going to tell you don't even put it up. I'll just send me the bill. I'll just Venmo you guys because that is too cool. I absolutely love that sort of. There's like strong Schuster energy in there that I absolutely love. I'm sure it's intentional.
I like these decade variants.
This one's Michael Cho. I love his stuff. I love his work. It looks so classic yet modern, right?
Yes, I agree. Well said. All right, we did a recap. We got to another book, and it's time for break. I'm exhausted. All right, we got to take our first break.
Hang with us. We'll be back. Robbie will be back in a couple minutes. Thanks, everybody.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time. Did you know that every experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code. There's a super new way to support your friends over at The Experience. Head over to YouTube and send us a super chat, a super sticker, or a super thanks. We'll be super grateful for your support. And then keep an eye out as we launch membership services over on YouTube. It'll be a great way to get first look access at new content and shows before anybody else. Keep your eyes peeled and make sure you're following us on YouTube.
And we're back. Marcus says scanners don't work on metal books. Well, that's been my experience because they come out super dark. So
I think this is the first time this has been done, right? So there isn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know. We talked about this before. We didn't know how CGC would react because I think Ron sent one in, and he still, So we didn't know how.
We're still waiting to see
the slabbing process would have. But we weren't sure. Like obviously we know it's difficult to get them on video.
Right. So essentially I'm taking it with my phone, and I actually have to turn the lights off in the room so it doesn't have because otherwise if the lights are on overhead, then even when I tweet out the books for New Comic Book Day, I'm always sort of doing this thing where I'm like trying to get them off to the side or whatever, so there's not like All right, gotcha. Thanks, Jay. All right, so for those watching that have never put a claim through, essentially this is how it works. We have two types of claims. We have a buy now, we'll throw out a price. First person to claim it on the chats wins it. And then we have best offer at the end of the night. We'll throw out a starting number, and the person with the best offer in the chats at 7:55 will walk away with it. Jay, our producer, will throw up a link. Fill out the submission form if you claim anything in the chats. This gives us your shipping address, the most important thing. And if your screen name doesn't match up with your real name, we'll know your real name so we can ship it to you.
So you think they looked down at him and said, we'll call him Keith, the creative Keith? I'm guessing no.
So Robbie, tell us about your weekend at the con.
Real quick, Larson has a great idea too. Maybe we should try lifting the image.
It doesn't look metal though.
Oh, it doesn't?
Yeah, okay. It really doesn't have that metal
I just want people, I mean, obviously it's,
because they usually have the regular version as well.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because the cover will come in the regular. Even if the versions come in, the paper versions puts the metal.
You know what I want to avoid? I don't want people to find one of these things at a show a year or two from now at like 3 times or 4 times the money and be like, why didn't those guys tell us these were this cool? So I'm trying to sort of.
Right. I figure it's more important that they see that it is metal. Yeah. So you get kind of that reflection. We'll figure it out. So Robbie, what happened at the con? You gave us a little bit of a. You were obviously talking to Tony Fleets and Trish Forstner. So what else happened?
Yeah. Oh, it was ridiculously awesome. Like too much to even like really go. It was just amazing. I got to meet Ed Piscor and Jim Rugg of Cartoonist Kayfabe. I'm a big fan. Got to hang around their booth and chat with them a bunch. I bought a lot of stuff from them. Jim Mahfood. I got to meet John Romita Jr. Super cool dude. Jonathan Hickman and Nick Patera, who was the artist on Manhattan Projects. He had me and my buddy send a picture of us to him, and he sent it to Hickman. So we went and met Hickman. Hickman looked at us and then pulled out his phone. And he was like, "This is you guys, huh? I'm supposed to tell you guys that you're awesome," or something like that. It was so much fun. Walt Simonson and Louise Simonson were 2 hotel rooms down from us. So we had many elevator encounters and hallway walks and talks with. And they ate breakfast next to us all the time. In fact, one day, it was Saturday morning, at the table next to us eating breakfast was Larry Hama, Rick Leonardi, Walt Simonson, Wheezy, and Chris Claremont. It was like the X-Men Mount Rushmore, pretty much, of living creators.
The Hall of Fame table you're sitting at. Right?
Yeah. It was super fun. Had lots of people that were fans of my show come up and introduce themselves and want to take selfies and things like that. And just a grand old time. Jimmy Palmiotti, got to hang out with him for a little bit that night. Stephen Green, fantastic artist. He's from Alabama. Chatted with him for several times. Daniel Warren Johnson. I'm forgetting people, but it was the best con experience of my life. Hanging out at the art shows and everything. It was absolutely fantastic. And I found a dealer who specializes in indie underground comics from like 70s, 80s, and even before, right? So I was able to like snatch up some really cool stuff I had been looking for, some Steve Bissett and some Rick Veitch stuff that nobody else at the show had. And so I was really, really pumped. It was a really fantastic time.
Like a Maxi Mortal shirt at the...
I should have worn a Maxi Mortal shirt. I did finish my Maxi Mortal Volume 1 collection, though, because I needed issue 4. So I was able to find issue 4 from him. And I got I don't know if y'all remember, Mirage Studios did the Gobbledygook little one-shot anthology in 86. I got a hold of that. Also, I got awesome like remarks and stuff from Jim Rugg. And I met Klaus Janson, too. He was phenomenally awesome. I met Richard Case, the artist of Doom Patrol, for Grant Moore. It's so many people. It was crazy. I got a great remark from Jim Mahfood, and I got a fantastic one from Don Simpson of Megaton Man. And that was a highlight, was meeting him. He was super cool, little dry, like a little dry humor, but super cool. And his work was, he like blue lined, right? And then he like did the pencil over it. It looks amazing. Also Nick Tricata, of East of West, and he's got Ghost Cage out. In fact, the final issue that's out this week, got to meet him and got a nice sketch in my East of West. It's just fantastic. The only thing missing was you guys. It was going
to be huge. We got nothing.
Plus, apparently, Charlotte, North Carolina
That was me.
One of the local beers at Charlotte, North Carolina, I like IPAs, and they have this one called like Hop, Drop, and Roll. I was drinking that all weekend long. That stuff was so good, so good. And there was this place called the Public House that was just amazing. We went to this place for sushi on Thursday night called Red Ginger, and they had this.
That place is amazing.
Yeah, and they had this white peach sake. I had a couple bottles of that. That was really good. It was a good time, man. Good celebration of comics and culture and life, man.
It sounds like you had a blast, buddy. So, good segue. All right. So, next item up is the Mighty Thor number 700, signed in silver by Walt Simonson.
Oh, wow.
So, suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $62 for 1962. The year Thor first appeared. It is number 48 of 100 and signed in silver. And getting very excited, as I'm sure John is, to make use of his Regal VIP Unlimited. I'm going to see movies 4 times a day. Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm looking forward to seeing that. That should be good.
I can't imagine people. I've seen people talking about their like the IMAX show is like whatever it is for the RPX show is going to be like $28 or something. At this point, I almost feel like they're driving up the price to get you subscribed to Regal Unlimited. Because
so it doesn't matter if it has a higher ticket price. You still get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like a
surcharge.
Yeah, like an extra $1 or $2 or whatever. But it's still, for me, keep in mind, I mean, I'm not pushing Regal Unlimited on anybody. For me, it just turns out to be worth it.
Right.
If you're me, you're retired, you could literally, if I wasn't so terrible shape, I could walk to the Morristown Theater. But, you know, I drive over there. But, you know what I mean? It's close.
Well, you walk from theater to theater, though, to watch different movies on the same day. So.
No, I get the little scooter that the old people have. I'm not walking across a giant multiplex like that. Yeah, I mean, I had someone on Twitter say to me the other day, it was her and her 2 daughters, popcorn, soda, whatever. They went to like a midday show, so they had lunch. And for the 3 of them, it was like $110. I mean, that's steep. Each of the tickets were like $16 or $18, which is like an RPX matinee price. It's like $25 during, you know, an evening show. And then, you know, I mean, everybody's been to a movie theater. You've seen it, right? Soda is $6. Popcorn is $7, $8. God forbid you want candy. 6 pieces of candy are like $5.
So, Joel, is that theater still in the mall? It is, actually.
It's been like renovated. Now it's like, I think it was a United Artists Theater when we were young.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it was United Artists Theater. Now it's a Regal Cinema. Regal has a pair of RPX houses in there. Which, you know, to me, it's worth it. Again, you know, it got to the point where, like, when Avengers Endgame came out, I was in there every day.
Right.
Literally every day. And it was, you know, for me to see it in that format, and people were like, this is costing you like $20 a day. I'm like,
No, it doesn't. Not anymore. All right, so let's do, what do you think?
Let's do like a slab book or something.
You want to do a
Then
slab
we'll
book?
see what Robbie wants to do next.
All right, sounds good. Let's do Spawn number 321, variant cover, CGC graded 9.8. We have one available for suggested retail is $89.99. We have one available for $69.99. Guaranteed 9.8. And I know the wait time for CGC is still really long. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Robbie?
I was going to say, this is a nice cover. I pick up all the McFarlane variants whenever he does them for Spawn. So I have this one, and maybe I should get mine slab because it's guaranteed a 6.5 probably. I don't know. I read my comics like hardcore, like I slam them against the wall. I'm just kidding about that. But this is a great cover. I love Todd McFarlane's work.
Well, you know, that's the problem. I mean, even if you're willing to wait and you pay the submission fees and then the shipping fees and all that stuff, it's a gamble.
It can be. I don't want to say it's crapshoot because it's not like they're making it up, but it's very.
If you think you have a 9.8, it's feasible to come back a 9.6 or a 9. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like it's going to come back a 6.5.
We talked about this with Robbie before. Everybody thinks their books are coming back at a 9.8. You know what I mean? They just do. I hate to say it, but I talk to people all the time, and they're like, "No, dude, this is a legit 9.8," and I'm like, and they'll tweet a photo of it, and I'm like, I can tell that's not a 9.8.
Right.
You know what I mean? From your photo. So what do you think is going to happen when the book actually arrives at CGC? You know, some guy grabs their monocle or a magnifying glass or whatever.
Well,
I tell people down here in Alabama, I'm like, some of these comics today with the paper that they're printed on, the walk out to the car in the Alabama humidity, you're already down to an 8.07.
No, I think that's.
Well, we talked about this months ago. You know, that period where because we're back.
We're back.
Robbie, you back?
I'm back. Did you freeze?
Robbie is frozen.
Oh, he's frozen, so I don't know.
All right, if you're out there,
blink twice.
Blink.
Am I frozen?
All right. I don't know where we are here because I'm getting the same pattern. Okay, chat disconnected. Okay. All right. Looks like we are having technical difficulties.
Who is frozen, me or them? What's going on? I can hear y'all. Oh, I think it's them. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to the Robbie Show over at The Experience. So, yeah. What were we talking about? Let's see. Heroes Con was fantastic. It was super cool. Roy Thomas was there. Chris Claremont. And I saw Stevie B had a question about, he saw some YouTube videos that made it look like that there weren't as many people. And we were talking about that, me and my crew that we were with, but they also laid it out differently where a lot of the creators that were bigger draws into like crowds like Walt Simonson and Louise Simonson and Chris Claremont, Roy Thomas, Jonathan Hickman, John Romita Jr., they all put them in a different section where they hardly ever had, they never put creators over there. So they were all doing their own thing. And so there was a lot of people over there too, and it kind of cleared up the aisles around, especially around Indy Island, and that's where Indy Island was where I've spent a lot of time. So that's what I did. I think Beta Ray will be in the new Thor or Guardians, Joel says. Well, it's a possibility. They seem to have been teasing him in so many movies already that just go ahead and do it. Give everybody Beta Ray Bill. It seems like that's what they want. So I don't have the list of the comics. They didn't send me the list today of what's available to sell, or I would start throwing some books out. So if you guys got any questions, just throw them out there, you know. Hopefully they're rebooting their router or whatever. Hopefully Jersey's still there. John's letting us know now that it's on their end. I think we figured that out, John, but it's okay. I don't know if I met anyone from WTF Comics, so I'm not super familiar. Sell my own books. I don't want to sell anything that I have. Jay can pop things up on the screen. That's true. Jay could do that. So if Jay wants to pop something up and you got the text, there we go. This is looks like a Red Sonja book. Red Sonja number 10, Virgin Incentive cover by Jonathan Lau. MSRP of $50 tonight. Only $40. Jonathan Lau's a fantastic artist. We actually commissioned him to do an exclusive cover that we released last year through Second Sight. It was a Ghost Rider homage, and he does fantastic work. So right now you can get this Virgin Incentive cover. I believe it's a 1 in 15 by Jonathan Lau. MSRP $50, but tonight $40. $40 here on The Experience. Yeah, meeting Ed and Jim was awesome, and I played it up. I went in there and I kept going back, and I bought a lot of cool stuff. I got some Red Room prints, and I got some out of print stuff that Jim Rugg had, and they were super cool. They were super cool dudes, super cool. We put a picture of it on the gram. Plus, I met Omar from Near Mint Condition, super cool guy as well. All right, Jay, let's pop up another book. Let's do this. What's coming up? We should do where are you now? We're doing Invincible Iron Man 500, signed by Matt Fraction. MSRP of $19.99 tonight only Full MSRP, because Matt Fraction signatures are near impossible to get now. That is true. He wasn't at Heroes this year. He was 3 years ago, the last time they did Heroes Con, but he wasn't there this year. He's not making a lot of appearances. I think he's doing a lot of work developing ideas for TV in particular, I think. But this is the 500th issue of the Invincible Iron Man with a Salvador LaRocca cover, I believe that is. Dynamic cover, Iron Man coming straight at you. This is something like Kirby would have done. So I like it. I dig it. I did not meet Michael Golden. I walked by him several times. Same with Steranko. Steranko was at the bar too, hanging around. He wasn't drinking or nothing. He was hanging out, talking to the ladies. You know, if anybody knows Steranko, he's super cool cat, man. So it was a lot of fun. But I didn't meet Michael Golden. I didn't get anything signed by the Simonsons. I brought stuff to get signed, but their line was so long. Like I waited the first day, I waited in long lines for John Romita Jr. and for Jonathan Hickman. And I was like, man, my knees are not going to take this tomorrow. So I'm not going to deal with that. And I'm just going to have fun and enjoy meeting other people. Like Klaus Janson was super freaking cool, y'all. Super cool. Daniel Warren Johnson, Nick Dragata. My buddy met Stuart Amon and I did not. Gavin Smith, artist of Dead Legends and currently Star Trek Mirror War. He's been on our show before. And so we went and met him, and my buddy Brian got a cool Shaolin Cowboy commission, and it's dope. You should check out Gavin Smith on Instagram to see a picture of it. That Shaolin Cowboy went to my buddy Brian. It was super cool. You want to do one of those commissioned cover art ones?
Ken Hauser?
Yeah, let's do
Alrighty.
it. Oh. Venom number 25, signed with cover sketch of Venom by Ken Hazer. MSRP of $89.99, but tonight only $62 for the year that Spider-Man first appeared. 2022 was 1962, of course. So that makes this what? Is it the 60th anniversary now? Man, Spidey's getting old. But this is amazing. Ken Hazer working with that silver and on a black cover. This is fantastic. Creative Keep, I see, is claiming it. So there you go. Well, a fantastic pickup, Creative Keep.
Yeah,
what else we got?
Hazers are always dope.
Oh, yes, they
always
are.
Dope. Let's see. We got X-Men 23.
Oh, wow. Is that Alex Ross? What is this? That's not Alex. What is this?
Whoa.
It's Astonishing X-Men, obviously.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah, signed by Alex Ross. That is dope.
Yeah.
That looks amazing. So $199.99 tonight only. Yeah, Alex Ross signatures are near impossible anymore as he does not do conventions. So you got to find this dude on the street.
All right, folks, here comes the other guys. They're coming back now.
All right. Nick says it's Alex Ross pure pencils, but it's not sketched on, is it? It's actually like it's printed, right? That's not an actual. It's just the signature, right?
I think this is a downgrade. I was enjoying just Jay and Robbie, man. I was watching on my phone, and I'm like, I don't really think they need us.
What did I miss here?
Okay, we got a question. Hey guys, glad you're back. Is this just the signature, right? That's like not.
Yeah, that is just the signature. Correct. You are correct, sir.
Otherwise, it'd be a security guard standing next to it by the wall.
Yeah, I think if it was actually sketched by Alex Ross, it'd be a bit more than $199.99.
That's $199.99 a month.
So, Creative Keep, are you saying that you do not want it now? Knowing that? Just let us know. But he did get the Venom. Creative Keep got the Venom CCA, buddy.
All right, cool. Thank you. Just want to make sure.
Pretty cool.
Kind of going back to make sure. All right, so Creative Keep got the Venom.
Yeah, and is bowing out of the Alex Ross one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like Nick says, if it was actual like art done on it'd be a little bit more expensive.
And it would be on Nick's Friday show, right? If it was original art.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're all caught up. Huh?
By the way, 7:00 on the Experience, Nick's show.
Yeah, on Fridays. Right. Original art, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, no problem, Creative Keep. All right, so we're all caught up. Yeah, so I have no idea what happened. Yeah, I have no idea.
It's the internet, man. We know. We understand. Happens to all of us.
You don't have
John
to.
pulled the plug. He found the plug.
I want Amy to be in the power room, just pulling stuff apart, and laughing maniacally. Welcome back. Just unplugging stuff.
So, all right. So, how many books did you guys get to anyway? You got to the.
I think we might have gotten through like 4 or 5, man. We were pretty efficient. I'll tell you that.
That's what I'm saying.
Pretty efficient without you two. I'm just gonna say.
I really think they're going about this the wrong way.
All right. Well, which ones did you do? So I
We
can
did
look it
well.
up.
Okay, so we did the.
Venom?
We did the Venom that sold, obviously, and then we did. There was the Red Sonja, Jonathan Lau.
Hold on. Let me find that. Yes, the Virgin 7. Got it. All right.
This one?
And then you did
First one?
the Venom. Well, no, it didn't sell.
Oh,
Yeah, it did not sell, but we covered that, and the Iron Man signed by Matt Fraction.
Ah, good.
We
Okay.
ran through.
This one's
Cool.
done. This is John Spilios. This is John Spilios.
All right.
Let's
So I
see.
just
That
wanna-
may be all that we did. Jay could correct me if I'm wrong.
Cool.
No, I was listening to your story, Robbie. We didn't get through that many.
Okay, nice. I was rambling about the con for a while, so.
So Josh went. That's a funny one. CGC heard the criticism about getting a 9.8 and crashed the stream. Conspiracy theory.
They're sitting at CGC.
Hey,
Here's the
Stevie
fucking
B,
guy.
the hamster needs work as well. So, leave the hamster alone. All right. So let me see here. Okay. What should we do next? Oh, I know what. Let's do this one. This is Justice League number 16, We Can Be Heroes, blank variant, signed with a wraparound cover, Batman Joker sketch by Ken Hazer. So the X-Men 23, Preston, is not a CCA. Oh, wait. You're talking about number 25, right? The one
Yeah,
by
25.
Alex Friend?
Yeah, and it's not a CCA. It's just,
No,
it
it's
is signed, though. It's
Yeah.
signed.
All right, so this is a wraparound cover. That's the back. The back. The JLA. Got it, creative. You got it, my man. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get creative. Keep in on this one. All right, it is $69.99. It's just retail $99.99. But Creative Keep has claimed it. You got it, bro. All right. All right, so that one is gone. All right, yeah, Preston. So I'm not sure if you still wanted it or you're putting a claim or you're just asking. But it is not a. It is a sketch cover, but it is not a CCA. It is not a hand sketch by Alex Ross. But again, obviously Alex Ross's signature is not an easy one to get. And
Yeah.
so I don't know what happened. We blanked out, and then I did the universal. I just shut the computer down and restarted it type thing, and that worked. Yay! All right, and that is the extent of my IT knowledge.
Well,
Well, that's
think
always
about-
the first thing they say. Did you turn it off and turn it back on again? Did you plug it up? Yeah,
I did, and it sort of worked. What do you mean? Robbie's picked a bunch of books when we weren't here.
Do you want to pick one, or do you want to
you
still?
pick one.
I don't have a list of the books. You never print me a
You're
list.
sitting right next to the books.
Cowboy Bebop #1.
All right, Cowboy Bebop. All right, so we got Cowboy Bebop #1, CGC graded 9.8, just retail $89.99. We have one available for $69.99.
And we can hammer Netflix to cancel the show.
And that is a picture of my phone, a reflection of my phone.
This book is actually really good. Dan Waters is a brilliant writer, and he's able to, even if you've never watched that show, it doesn't matter because this has that vibe and tone of the animated series, right?
Right.
And you got that amazing art germ cover there, which is really cool.
Again, very upset at Netflix.
I know. I was gonna say, here's your chance to.
I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the series, and I'm like, why? Why is it gone?
They didn't cancel the comic. Netflix canceled the show.
Yeah,
after one
Netflix
season.
canceled the show. They did not cancel the comic.
Which is weird because the hype for it was huge.
Yeah,
and it was like they canceled it over a weekend.
And is anybody shocked Netflix is now in trouble? I mean, if you're going to keep making boneheaded decisions like that, you're going to lose your viewership very, very quickly. You're going to lose most of your viewers.
Well, I think people cut Netflix a lot of slack, right? Because there's a pandemic. People couldn't get content, right? Netflix got what they could, where they could. There was, like my wife likes these shows where it's like a British guy or girl and they're investigating a murder or something. They put all that stuff out there, right? And then they went further out. Australia shows, India, Asia. They kept but every show I saw was the same show. Somebody died. And there was like a cop and his partner trying to figure it out. And you can only do that for so long before people are like, where it's Stranger Things. And it took them forever to do it. And, now it's almost done. We got a couple shows, 2 episodes left?
Right.
For the 4th of July, and then they're done. A ton of people I know have said the same thing.
Don't get me wrong.
Stranger Things finale, and I'm out.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. They dealt with a lot of pretty intense competition, with Disney Plus and everybody else kind of jumping into the streaming game. But even still, you were first out of the gate. You should have seen this coming, Not
only that, but even after they saw how Disney Plus exploded, they had opportunities. They see what's powering most of the entertainment medium, right? It's superheroes, it's comic books, it's franchises, it's horror movies and stuff like that. They had contracts in place with people.
Yeah.
They signed, a deal with Mark Millar for his whole sort of, I guess we call it the Millarverse, so that's what he calls it. Jupiter's Legacy is, they've signed.
That I couldn't understand either.
They signed these, and they just sort of are in, and then they're out.
I don't get into the whole Prince Harry and Meghan Markle sort of thing, okay? But the deal they signed with them, I mean, I don't claim to be a streaming executive or anything like that, but even I'm looking at this going,
really?
Seriously? And then when this year, when they started getting in financial trouble, with losing subscribers, I'm thinking, why do you think that is?
They had shows that got people excited. They did like a sort of, I can't remember the name of it now. I don't know if it was Legend of Hill House. They had a really cool horror series that people liked, right? And it had that sort of American Horror Story vibe where we can come back and do another season. We have a good cast. People watch American Horror Story know there's about 14 or 15 actors they use, and they're always in different roles,
right?
Sort of in a rotating kind of thing. And I think that had the same interest.
It's clearly they at every fork in the road they chose the wrong fork. If you know what I mean. It just doesn't make any sense what they've been doing. But it's time for our second break, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes, and then we'll talk about that. And I got to talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, we got to talk about
it. Here, dude.
Stop.
I mean, I'm drinking Coke Zero. What more does he want?
We got to talk about Ezra Miller. Okay. That is a flaming train wreck.
No,
okay?
we don't.
Yes, we do. Okay.
Dwayne Japan, you're right. That was another show, Santa Clarita Diet. It tapped into that sort of vibe. If you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it. I'll just say it's in the horror vibe. The horror vein, like I don't know why they canceled that.
It's just every move that they've made. It seems like this last.
You have Drew Barrymore who's willing to do the show.
Right.
Drew Barrymore is money. She's been money for as long as I've been alive.
So Jay, take us to break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner. Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today. You're watching The Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Hey, and we're back. So yeah, Lars, man, you're absolutely right. That's not where I was coming from.
Yeah, I'm on phone with the legal department now. They're wondering
what legal department? That's me. So that email's going straight to the spam folder. Yeah, you're right, Lars, man. That's how I meant. But the guy is a wreck, unfortunately. But let's do the Dynamite 10-pack. Let's get that thrown out there just so we have this every week or every show that we do. It is a thank you to our viewers out there. It is the Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher. So a suggested retail of $40 or higher. And we have it, as always, for $5, 50 cents a copy for our viewers out there as a thank you for spending time with us on Monday and Wednesdays. We appreciate it. So great way if you haven't picked up Dynamite titles, and literally, I don't know, you could get anything because we literally just pick them out of the box, and we try to mix it up if you get more than one. If you've ordered some before, we try to make sure that you don't get dupes. But if you order a lot of them, I can't guarantee, because quite honestly, we forget what we've sent people. It's random. So
yeah, that's kind of too hard.
We don't keep a list. Not for $5.
Well, the thing that's really cool is there's variants.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember picking up a random package one day and finding a variant in it that I had been looking for a while. Now, full disclosure, I wound up taking that with me.
Right.
But that means there's other
like so many things.
But they are in there. It's not just all like cover A.
You should have seen last week when John tried to sneak one of the omnibuses out. That was comical. Can you flip one up? Just one of them? Just so people can see. All right, just to remind everybody, these just came out. They are volume 1, 2, and 3 of The Boys. They are also the giveaway that Nick had mentioned earlier in the show. If we get 50 live viewers, we will give away one set of the unsigned. If we get 70 viewers for tonight, Wednesday night, and then next Wednesday, we're not doing a show on July 4th, we'll also give away the signed set. If we get to 100, then Nick has 2 signed cards of Starlight and Homelander, signed by the actors. Very, very cool. Those will be given away to 2 different winners individually. But these are still available on the crowdfunder for the Boys Omnibuses, Dynamite site, and of course your local comic shop. So support your local LCS. They need the business. Go ahead. What are you going to say, Robbie?
I wasn't.
What?
And yeah, Larsman said in the chat. Yeah, there are times where there's like,
Larsman
1 to 25s in there.
Yeah.
There, we really do, it's not like we're just kicking out a ton of cover A's and like here you
go
or whatever.
No, it really is random. I'm not even playing. I mean, if you order 2 at the same time, we know not to duplicate the 2 10-packs. But it's a great deal. It's a great way. If you haven't picked up a Dynamite title, you can't lose here at 50 cents a copy. All right, so James Tinney in the 4th. Let's do Batman because I know how much John loves Batman. So let's do Batman.
I feel like I'm numb. There's a PTSD from Batman now, so I feel like I'm numb.
I'll put a green book in there next week. Batman number 86, signed in silver by James Tinian IV. Suggested retail of $69.99. 5-star at 50. It is number 2 of 40, and it is signed in silver. So that is available tonight as well.
Only number 2. That's cool.
Yeah, number 2 of 40. So, but yeah, I don't understand. It's like Netflix fell asleep at the wheel. They had an incredible head start. Everybody was writing about it at the time when Disney Plus had, was getting ready to launch, and then HBO was changing their format. And it's not that, I realized that it was going to be tougher for Netflix to make content, their own content-driven stuff, and they lost a lot of Disney stuff, obviously. Understand that, but you had so much of a head start, and then canceling shows, as we talked about, like Cowboy Bebop,
canceling
like
shows that
Jupiter's
people were into. That was the weird one for me, and not even like genre shows. Like we're all about the nerd genre here, but people like I'll hear my wife and her friends downstairs cursing because they reached the end of the show. And I realize Netflix doesn't control every single show they have on the platform, right? But you can get stuff made if you want. Like they decided they were going to have another season of Lucifer. There's a whole bunch of shows where during the pandemic, almost every week, Netflix saves something with hashtag, right? With Trent. And we talked about this before. We're horror fans. Robbie's a horror fan. Imagine somebody from Netflix goes to, we talked about studios. Imagine someone from Netflix goes to A24.
Right.
And A24 is done, we talked about this, I think just last week. They've done The Green Knight. They've done X. They've done a bunch of really kind of cool, sort of unique takes on horror. Imagine if they go to them, front them some money and say, create some exclusive content for us. Same with like Blumhouse, although I think Blumhouse is doing that with Amazon, actually. I think Amazon jumped on that first. They kind of ran into Jason Blum and Blumhouse and thought, you know what? We want you to be doing all these movies. And
well, one of the things, like, me and Rex had a whole topic one time where we talked about this, right? And we mentioned that they don't stagger episode to episode. So right now, Miss Marvel, it's got a little bit of buzz each week. Obi-Wan had buzz each week. Stranger Things had huge buzz for like 2 to 3 weeks. But now it's like, it's gone. Now it will come back, right? when the finale shows up in this week, right? So that's cool, but it's going to be how long until the next season? Because there was a big gap between the others. And it reminds me of what HBO did when they had a bunch of shows that were building audiences and they just canned them all, like before they even got to come to a resolution. Carnival, Rome, I almost said Westworld, but not that. Deadwood, which is my favorite like HBO show of all time. And it took a long time for them to find that footing again with Game of Thrones. And then they mishandled that, so like we've seen examples of these companies that don't think because you got a string of hits that it's going to last forever, because you gotta still try, and you gotta build. You still gotta build. It's almost like they expect now that all of their millions of subscribers have to jump on that first day. And if they don't, then they can't it. Right. So, I mean, that's unfortunate because shows take time to build, right? Some of the greatest shows of all time took time to build.
Well, I think, and we talked about this before, I think that the formula of dropping an entire season at one time is also a mistake. As you mentioned, the ability to build from week to week, because I'll take the show and your show as a small microcosm. If you're dropping an episode every week, we're constantly talking about it for the period that it lasts. Yeah. So we talked about Obi-Wan for what? 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks continuously. Yeah. All right. But if you drop the entire season, number one, everybody's seeing it as staggered time, so you don't end up talking about it as much, right? So I maybe saw.
Wait, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Exactly. I haven't.
So John may have seen 3 episodes, but I've seen 1. No, John, I don't have time. So wait.
Yeah.
Okay. But with something you're dropping week to week, first of all, I know John's getting up at 3 a.m. to watch it on Wednesdays. That's totally true. I'm not making that up. All right.
No, that's absolutely true. If
And
you
then
watch the
I
show,
have-
you know
right.
that's true. I'm
And
up
then I
by
can-
3 o'clock. Espresso machine's on.
Yeah, and John's texting me, if you know, and I remember this text. If you haven't seen the last episode of Obi-Wan, watch it immediately, if not sooner.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know anything sooner than immediately, but you know that's irrelevant. The point of fact is, I know he's watching it then, and then I can tell him, well, hold up, John, I'm gonna watch it, and then you know maybe I watch it that Wednesday night, maybe I watch it that Thursday or Friday, but at some point that Monday or whatever, John and I are talking about it because I've watched it. Okay, but.
And we're talking about it on this show.
Yeah.
And then with the other shows we connect to, the different social media things I contribute to. So it's sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it keeps.
I think 62 Lefty Blue, this is what I think as well. What he just posted. I think to get people hooked, you put 2 or 3 episodes out there.
Yes.
And then you go week by week.
And then you go
right?
week to week. I like that. They did that with
Little Time?
No.
HBO Max did it with Peacemaker, which
Yeah,
I think was a
Peacemaker,
really
that's
good
right.
idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get a
They
couple
dropped
people,
4, right?
you let them know, hey, look, right, we're going to get you into this show. Right?
Yes.
And then, you know, come back next week for part 3, 4, 5, or whatever.
And that's
it is.
why that formula works. Because
Yeah.
I
Disney
watched-
Plus even did that with Obi-Wan. They dropped the first 2 episodes that first
Oh, yeah,
day.
that's
They
right.
dropped
So-
2,
so-
and then and they did it on a Friday, and then they started going to a Wednesday. And I think that was one of the big things for me was that after I love Peacemaker, I was a big fan, right? So they dropped the 4, and after watching all 4, I was like, oh man, I can't wait until the next episode. And the nice thing was I knew it was next week, okay? But with Netflix, I'll watch, say, an entire series or mini-series, and I think, oh man, I'd like to watch some more. But then God only knows how long it's going to be. It could be a year, year and a half, 2 years before, you know, another season comes out. And at that point, I moved on, you know. One perfect example of this was somebody turned me on to The Expanse. And I think that's on Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
It was on like Sci-Fi or whatever. Then it went Amazon.
Right. And then
took it.
when I started watching it, there were 5 seasons. And I watched all 5 seasons. I really binged. It was one of the few shows I actually binged. And I
That's an
binged out.
outstanding show, by the way.
Yeah,
so.
and that was long. 5 seasons full, that was long. Okay. Left me with a feel at the end of it, wow, I want more. When season 6 coming? Then it took like another year and a half. You've lost me. I'm gone. I'm on to other things. And worse than that is, do I want to watch it? Yes. But it's been so long, I've forgotten what happened in the first 5 episodes, and I'm not first 5 seasons. And
Not
I'm
a
not
genre
going
show,
back
but
and
you know what that tends to happen with? Peaky Blinders.
yeah.
Like, you love Peaky Blinders, right? And then all of a sudden it goes away. You absolutely need to watch that recap. You know how they have, like, the recap before the episode starts? Because you forget stuff. Oh, that person's dead, or whatever. You know what I mean? You just totally forget it. The Expanse is a show, and I'll tell you right now, if you have not watched The Expanse, and you're watching this show, you should absolutely go check out The Expanse. That show is...
John, that's the opposite of marketing our show.
No, my point
Did
is...
you just tell people to? We're trying to get 50 people here so we can start triggering this contest, and you're telling people to go watch The Expanse?
After
Come
we're done,
on.
watch it. Turn on The Expanse at 8:01. Oh wait, is there anything else at 8 o'clock? The Expanse is just really good.
John is going to be waiting for, like everybody else, for his new comics on Wednesday.
I actually, and I've been waiting to do this all night. You always say I do this. I was talking to Tom Stogowski.
Oh my God! Here comes the name dropping.
Now I can be honest.
Like a B-52. He's got a carpet bomb up here, guys.
comes out this Wednesday. I've known the plot of this book for like 3 months. And I haven't said a word. Wednesday, the Vamp comes out. You absolutely should buy that book. That book is an absolute treasure. Tom has done a great job.
Lars Man, Army of Darkness. We'll do that next.
And yes, Jen, read the novels. Jen King just jumped in and said, read the novels.
That I would do. I have not read the novels.
I got to tell you right now, 2016, I think, I'm in San Diego Comic-Con, and they sort of decide this is going to be, they're giving away Expanse hats, and they're going to let you know this is the Expanse, right? They're opening up to wider universe. Nobody knows what to expect. You saw in the crowd people who read the novel, and they were like, just nodding. And we watched the first few minutes on the screen, and we were all like, we couldn't believe how good it was. And then we had to wait months after Comic-Con for this thing to first start.
So, Dave, I'll actually agree with you there. Okay, weak seasons versus strong seasons. I have to say that I almost gave up on it. The first 2 seasons I felt were very slow, but I didn't give up on it, and then it got better and then I watched all the way to season 5. But the problem is it's been so long, I have now forgotten what happened the first 5 seasons, kind of, and I'm not binging 5 more seasons to catch up again.
Well, you've got this thing where you've got the way storytelling on television and storytelling in the movie, in a novel, right? The Expanse starts with something very different than it ends up with. I don't want to, do spoilers in case anyone has seen it or not seen it or whatever, but it starts in one direction and it pretty much shifts gears to the point where when you kind of get to the end, you're like, oh yeah, you've almost forgotten about it. It's been so long.
Right.
People are good, they're bad, they change, whatever. I think it's a very organic and realistic storytelling style, but I think for television, people, like they see a character and they're locked in their mind.
Right.
It's all binary, good guy, bad guy, right? She's evil, she's good, done. So when you have this sort of intricate, complicated storytelling, people are like, oh wait, I forgot. But do a book or something.
All right. Well, Lars Man, I think, wanted to see the Army of Darkness. So we have the Army of Darkness, 1979, number 2.
Did we lose him again?
Are we back? I don't know what's going on with our internet today.
Y'all are back for me.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, right. Jen just said it's very loyal to the book source material. And I think most of the times if they do that, they're sort of they're gonna be okay. When they start to just create like fabricate stuff out of whole cloth or whatever, you kind of get this almost like a feeling of a bait and switch, right? Like if I sold you a sandwich and you opened it up and there was like an apple pie in there, even if you like apple pie, you're like, dude, I bought a sandwich.
Right.
And I think sometimes when you buy something, like buy into something, like I'm going to watch this show because you like the book or whatever, and you start looking at it, it's completely something else. I just read a really cool article about this. That was the problem with some of the Star Trek shows. Some of the Star Trek shows get it, right? Then there's Star Trek shows where it's too far away from the original first 2 shows.
Right.
People love the original series. They love Next Generation. They kind of want to see things. Deep Space Nine revolved around Next Generation. You got to Voyager, they were sort of on their own, and that's where you started to see interest leveling off, right?
Right.
Enterprise, everything continued to level off, and then, of course, they got to Discovery, which very much had that original series energy, a lot of action.
Right.
And then, of course, now, I mean, Strange New Worlds, I guess you could say Strange New Worlds is a prequel to classic Star Trek. I mean, we're really talking about...
Yeah, in a way, Pike and them, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the very first episode of Star Trek is about Pike and these characters or whatever. So it's real sort of... it's real butt up against there.
So, yeah, you know what? I'll probably read The Expanse,
Claudius is amazing, by the way. Derek Jacobi. I just see Sheldon recommending Robbie.
Yeah, I've never seen that, so...
If you like the Rome TV show, I'll tell you right now, and I'm not taking anything away from the Rome TV show, Claudius is a better version of that concept.
Cool. I'll check it out.
That. And Derek Jacobi's performance, I think there's a young Patrick Stewart in there, plays a Centurion named Sejanus.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah. I love him. He's a great actor. All right, so let's do. We got another CCA. Let's do that before we have to go to the next break. Amazing Spider-Man number 800, signed with cover sketch of Morbius by Ken Hazer.
I like
retail
this, man.
$89.99. We have the one available for $71.19 for 1971 when Morbius first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man number 101.
That's the thing that makes the movie's failure sting.
And we will have Ron. You got it, buddy. I got you down. Lars Man is claiming ASM. I'm sorry, buddy.
I was just saying that's what it's.
Yeah, Ron jumped in ahead of you, my friend.
I would love to have seen Morbius. Like, Morbius is a character I always thought was cool. Then we talked about this Marvel Knights in the 90s. And Morbius is cool again, but in a different way than he was in the 70s. Somebody told me like 2010, 2012, they had a really cool sort of Morbius storyline. I gotta be honest, I did not read that, but the feedback I heard was pretty good. And then we get to the movie. And I'm thinking, okay, they've got like a Hollywood name, whatever. And oh no,
So, Lars, man, no problem, buddy. Sorry about that. But over the next few shows, we've got a shipment in from Ken Hazer. That was the same shipment that you saw the 4 connecting covers and this Morbius piece as well. So we're going to have other pieces a little bit relevant to what's going on in the comic book world and TV series world. So it'll be really, really cool. Thank you, Jay, for reminding me. I agree. I think it's time for John's favorite part of the show, the Rex Cap.
The Rex Cap. Rex Cap. We need a graphic for that. That's what we need.
That's a friend that supports me.
Throw that switch again, Amy. I don't want to see it.
Don't you have something to tweet? Don't you have more names so you can to tweet so you can drop them later?
I'm sorry. Getting my suggestion.
My apologies.
Every day, Walt Giovanni from Red Sonja fame does a warm-up sketch. And he asks people that he knows that follow him, his mutuals on Twitter, hey, what do you want me to do? So I'm kind of throwing, and he always asks for, if he's not familiar with the character, he's always looking for a thing, like a picture, like an image. So I'm sending him an image of Masquerade from Project Superpowers, which I think comes out again next week.
Hey, listen, we got another half hour of the show, so you might want to hold back some of those names until the back half hour.
You think I don't have more names? You're funny. Go ahead, do your Rex Cap.
I tried to help you guys. I'm sorry. I did my best. I couldn't stop them. All right, so quick recap. Dynamite 10-pack reader set, always available. Suggested retail of $40, and we have it for $5. 50 cents a copy. As Lars Man said, it's a great deal. Action Comics number 1000, 1940s variant cover, signed in silver by Dan Jurgens. Suggested retail of $69.99. We have one available for $50. It is number 5 of only 25 signed in silver. I really do love that cover. Batman number 86, signed in silver by James Tynion IV. Suggested retail of $69.99. We have one available as a 5-star for $50. Book of the Night. It is number 2 of 40 signed, and it is also signed in silver.
Josh, I love that Josh put in the musical notes. Have John Cullen take a nap.
What do you think he's doing during a break? Stray Dogs, Dog Days number 1, horror homage variant, signed by Tony Fleeks. It is one of our best offer books, and Preston is currently in the lead at $20. And remember, best offers end at $7.55, right before the end of the show. Then we had Amazing Spider-Man number 37, signed in silver by Nick Spencer. It is our other best offer book. See you, Ron. And Lars Man is in the lead at $19.62. Then we had Astonishing X-Men number 25, Dynamic Forces variant, signed by Alex Ross. And we have one available for $199.99. This is a sketch cover, but it is not a CCA, just to be clear. Then we had Invincible Iron Man number 500, signed by Matt Fraction. And we have one available, number 13 of 300.
That's a great cover.
For $19.99. And Matt Fraction's signatures are getting harder and harder to get as he is living the life in Hollywood. And has been doing, obviously, less comic book work as a result of it. And then we had The Mighty Thor, number 700, signed in silver by Walt Simonson, somebody that Robbie has had breakfast with multiple times, apparently, over the weekend.
Breakfast next to multiple times. I wouldn't say with.
Semantic. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $62. It is number 48 of 100, signed in silver, and Walt Simonson has a beautiful signature. Then we had Spawn number 321, variant cover, CGC graded 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $69.99. Then we had Cowboy Bebop number 1, CGC graded 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $69.99. And let's see. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Dave's right. Shipment from Ken Hazer. I told you he's chained in the basement. I got to tell you, man.
That would be illegal.
There are rooms here at Dynamite I'm not going into because I don't know what I'm going to. I know. Man.
In all honesty, I mean, we and others have commissioned so much work for Ken. You know, he's got a backlog. So, you know, we're just happy to get shipments.
If you look at what we commissioned from him
alone,
and his American mythology work, that's a busy guy, man. Yeah. That's a seriously busy creator.
And you're right, Dave. That is Art Germ on Cowboy Bebop. So then we had Red Sonja, number 10, Virgin Incentive cover, 15-1 incentive by Jonathan Lau. Suggested retail 50. We have one for 40. Then we had the Army of Darkness, 1979, number 2, Stray Dogs, premium metal cover. Suggested retail of 100, and we have one as a 5-star at $50.
I'm surprised this one's still here. Actually, this is too cool.
It is cool.
For $50, and Stray Dogs and Army of Darkness. I'm gonna have to do a rewatch of Ash and the Army of Darkness on Netflix before it goes.
So then we had Purgatory number 1, Virgin premium metal cover by Antonio Fuso. It is a best offer book, and Joe L is in the lead at $32. And that
yes, he does, Dave, and that's good looking out. Walt Giovanni has a Indiegogo book coming out this week. So why don't you go, if you're interested, go find him on social media, and he's always putting a link out and stuff out there.
Or John will be talking to him.
I talk to him almost every morning. You know what connects all these creators?
I really feel bad for Walter now.
Me. Do you know who I am? I love that one.
Oh my Lord!
I think Gail Simone passed me off the wall because she got tired of me. Where's my sequel to Sword of Sorrows? Although she's really funny. I said, "Where's my sequel to Sword of Sorrows?" And she said, "Go ask the guy in the office next door." So when you think that creators might not be paying attention or listening or knowing what you're talking about, Gail knows exactly what I'm talking about because she knows we do this show next to Nick's office.
All right, so Triple B, I got you, buddy. 34 in Purgatory. You got it, my man. All right, so it is time for our last and final break.
I'm excited to see who gets that Purgatory metal cover. Right. Sweet. I'm excited to see who takes this.
So we will be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there. Hi there. Hello there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comic Crypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I am your host, Henry Kumpa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Game Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadets.
Hey! What's up? Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectables.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box? What's in the Box?
Comic culture and sales.
Hey, we're back. And Mark Pikus, I want to personally shout out. He sent me an email looking for the link of the show to try and expand the viewership, and I appreciate that. That was very generous of you to do. I do not believe we have reached 50 yet, unfortunately, but hopefully we will. Show's not over yet, but I do appreciate, I love this community that we've developed here. People helping each other out when we have best offer claims, people, folding or allowing somebody else to get it if they happen to get in first, but the person second or third really wanted it. Love this community, and John and I and have a great time. We thank Robbie for joining us, and obviously all the guys that do the production stuff behind the scenes, make the great little commercials and stuff. We appreciate them as well. I just want to throw that out there.
Stevie B asked a really good question, and this is sort of a little bit of just stitching together things I've heard. I was going to ask Nick if he knew for certain, but he's actually publishing. Bill Mantlo had a couple things, I think, that sort of pulled him back from comics in general. I mean, he was the victim of a hit-and-run accident, which, really severely limited, his abilities to interact day to day. I think, and I don't think I'm saying anything inappropriate here, I think he's still, in a care center. I don't think, but also, if I remember correctly, he was in law school. Back then, like comics journals, some of these old things, they would talk about that, he was almost like transitioning to a certain extent. Like he'd been in law school and then he kind of was in Marvel in the day. And I think maybe, I don't know if, I guess the thinking was his run at Marvel was kind of done.
Right.
He jumps into DC, he's in law school, and then, he's hurt. And he can't really, so I would probably say there's a reason why Mantlo's DC work was pretty limited, couple books.
Large Man. Just kind of
Large Man.
What you just said.
Yeah, that was sort of what I had heard, that after the accident, I guess the original thinking was he would continue working, but how little by little by little, that was just not.
It just didn't happen. It's unfortunate. You never take your time for granted, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a type of thing where, we talked about this. Somebody asked me on Twitter the other day, does it seem like we're losing a lot of comic talent? To a certain extent, it does.
Well,
but
these past few months, it seems really like we've lost a lot.
It's because we're hitting that certain generation that really had a big impact, right?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. The people that are passing away now, or are very old now, these people were at the top of their game when I was young. I haven't been young for a very long time. So we're kind of at that point now where these people are, a guy like Jim Steranko's in his 80s. You know what I mean?
John Romita Sr.
He doesn't act like it, by the way. Jim Steranko doesn't act like he's... That felt like Vegas had come to North Carolina being around Jim Steranko.
I've had the good fortune to get to talk to Jim a few times at shows. He does like a chat. He just does a Twitter chat on Sunday night. His quote unquote henchmen join in. He talks about everything.
Right.
Jim is just one of those guys that, and he's very honest about it. He has someone there doing the tweeting. Like he answers the questions or whatever. I think that Jim is one of those guys that if you're at a con, take the time to go see him. You know what I mean? He's got some great, he's like one of those master storyteller type guys that, like he was there at the beginning, Anytime a conversation starts with, so I'm talking to Jack Kirby and you instantly have my attention. I'll buy a ticket for that conversation. And yeah, Dynamite released an edition of Bill Mantlo's Swords of Swashbucklers. And I'll tell you right now, that's really cool. That's something I would like to see, and I guess this is maybe, I don't know this for a fact. Swords of the Swashbucklers are something I'd like to see, like an animated series or something. I think that's just,
All right, let's get the next book. It's Justice League number 53, cover A, signed in silver by Liam Sharp. Suggested retail of $69.99. We have it as one of our 5-star books of 50. It is number 14 of 53, signed in silver.
Not to mention, anytime somebody puts, is that Detective Chimp on the cover? That's sort of
the metal version, right?
It's a metal version of Detective Chimp. If I had seen that particular cover in the book, I would have bought it just for that.
Right.
Well, Liam Sharp's artwork, I think, is fantastic. I remember reading him. I remember him from the '90s. He did like Death's Head, right? And then he did a Venom series, and then he just came back strong in the most recent years. He did a Wonder Woman Batman crossover book on his own. He did that Batman Reptilian book with an amazing style. Green Lantern with Grant Morrison, and Liam Sharp's just phenomenal, man.
I think Liam Sharp is one of those guys that transitioned really well.
Right.
And I've kind of poked fun at some of the 90s art styles before. To be clear, I feel like I spent enough money.
You poked fun at everything I think.
No, but I feel like I spent enough money on Image books to justify getting a few laughs out of it now. But I think that art style is very dated.
Right.
And I think if you look at Liam Sharp then and now, this is a guy who's, his style has grown to fit a more modern sensibility. I hate to say it, but there are some artists from the Image era that it's literally the same. It's the same style. It's the same everything. And I just don't think that, you know what I mean? Stevie B, to answer your question, one of my favorite things in science fiction or comic books are gorillas. Huge Planet of the Apes fan, huge Gorilla Grodd fan. Yeah.
I think back in the Silver Age in particular, right? It was apparently that and big heads, because everybody had that, was like, oh, my head's gotten huge or something like that, right? Or they turned the Flash fat, or like the superhero becomes a baby. Like,
all of a sudden you'll see like Batman as a toddler, and you're like, what? And it's always some weird thing. But yeah, gorillas from Titano to, even like when they did Future Quest, they made sure Blip got in there.
So to answer your question, Stevie B, yes, only if it pertains to John, though.
No, Dwayne, I should have mentioned this. Dwayne's saying this right. JL8.
Oh, okay.
And I think Marvel did one too, and I can't remember what the name, Eight Avengers or something, where they find, there's like a million alternate realities. So they find one where it's like Captain Ape America. And they're all, and, people are like, that's so stupid. And I'm like, yeah, but here's my money. I'm buying it. So do they really care if it's stupid when they get my money? No.
Probably not.
And Josh Went is right. Back on Liam Sharp's got a new book, Stonehenge, coming out from Image, I believe. It's like going to be, I'm sure it's just going to be beautiful as far as the art goes, 100%.
All right.
Hopefully there's some gorillas in it.
Well, then John will buy it.
Yeah, Marvel has their Planet of the Apes omnibus coming out. One of my all-time favorite reads of anything.
They just got the rights back. They just got the rights for that, and they're going to be putting out some new content as well.
Marvel is, to surprise no one, Marvel's like the giant shark. It always keeps eating and keeps eating. But when they started picking up stuff like Alien, Predator, Planet of the Apes, they're not only are they guaranteeing themselves like a bunch of content or whatever, but in this world of where anything goes, we've seen like Boom Studios and some other people do like, Planet of the Apes and Green Lantern or whatever. They are making sure that if the wheels really come off in terms of making sense, there's absolutely no reason you would not see like an alien egg found by Dr. Zaius in Apes.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no reason they wouldn't do that. Especially people, the multiversing of comics has really helped. Dynamite, Marvel, DC. Let's be honest. Everything is sort of, everything's expanded this way now, right? That being the case, why wouldn't Marvel do that?
I'm surprised they haven't done something like a Star Wars X-Men crossover yet. Like, I'm surprised they haven't, because if they did, it would be like huge. But I guess the idea right now is but you're right. There's like multiverses and stuff. So they could do it set outside of that. But maybe that would be in the works. Maybe they're planning that would be a big event if they did like a Marvel versus Star Wars or something. And I'm sorry, I said Stonehenge apparently and not Starhenge. So I apologize. I'll probably do that a few more times in the coming months.
Imagine like the Avengers get a call from, Nick Fury, whoever, and says, you got to get up to the helicarrier now and seize this. And they get up to a lab, and the Hulk is flat on his back in a lab with that giant alien thing in his face, over his face.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I think that there's a sort of, you got Reed Richards in the background being like, I can't remove it without killing the Hulk. There's absolutely room there. During the 90s, we had like Kevin Nolan and people do Superman Alien.
Right.
And of course, and I got to admit, the story was weak because they relied on, the planet is around a red sun, so he's not really Superman.
Art's great, though.
What?
Art's great, though.
The art was good. The art was real. They also did Green Lantern Alien. And again, it was like the story was terrible. The art was amazing. I actually own a page of the art from that. It was really cool. The cover, everybody remembers the cover. A bunch of lanterns standing back to back in a dimly lit, green lit room. And all around them are Xenomorphs.
All right, let's do our last graded book of the night, Year of the Villain, Hell Has Arisen, number 3, Encore Edition, CGC graded 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. And here you go. I'm getting old. It was a best offer book. Starting at $25.
Do you not think HR watches this show? When you ask for a raise, they're going to be
it's
like...
one guy, dude.
It's one guy.
And I guarantee you, I know him. He's not watching the show. No, absolutely.
You know what? I have not seen
Preston, you're going to claim
Preston
it,
wants
buddy?
it.
Preston, it's best offer, but I'm going to put you down at 25, buddy. And since we're so close to the end line, you may win it for 25 unless somebody else wants it.
And that's the first like cameo of Punchline, right? Right? Is that right? It's like the first full appearances in Batman, but this is the first cameo, I think, or something.
Correct. You are correct, sir. See, Robbie knows the comics. I sell the comics. We don't know what John does. We're still trying to figure it out. All right, Lars Man is at 30. You got it, buddy.
I don't know.
Dwayne's a pain is right on the money with what Stevie B was saying, because DC Warner won't have a presence at San Diego. Well, Marvel will, right? So that means there are going to be big announcements for Marvel.
Yep.
And
Gotcha,
DC, what is DC going to talk about? Like Flash? I mean, no, they're not. So yeah, you're right. They're
DC is sort of in that, like, everybody who's driven like a stick knows what I'm talking about. You're kind of on a hill. You're kind of in traffic. It's 8 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning. You're just trying to find the gear and it's not there. And you're grinding and the car starts backsliding and you're like, that's almost where DC and Warner are right now. Like, what you know what I mean? What are we going to do? They've got a few animated projects that come out and I think they're good, but they don't make them a ton of money. They've got this insurrection of like the Snyder people who want a very different version or vision of what they want to do. I would not, people like, oh, don't you wish you worked for DC Comics? Not like the Warner movie TV show.
They are definitely in a transition period, trying to follow more of the Kevin Feige Marvel model. We know that.
Hell Arisen apparently is the first full appearance of Punchline.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, Dave mentioned it was first full appearance.
I just remember there was a lot of contention between 3 different comics that came out, like, and people were like, "Why doesn't this count versus this?"
Josh brought up a really good point, though. He said somewhere, I guess, at Marvel's office, there's like Wolverine's head and a lightsaber in a glass box, and it says, "In case of emergency, break glass." Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Marvel has all these things, and you might never see that.
If Avengers X-Men Eternals doesn't do as well as they wanted to do, which I don't think it will, like, because I hear the retailer buzz and they're not confident in it, that might be time to break you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
I'll tell you right now, I literally had this conversation with the manager of the LCS I was in today, where I picked up that Punisher book. The response was, when I mentioned this, was, I forgot about that. Like, entirely, that's how, like, no-sold they are on this thing. The manager of the store, and it's a fairly large store, completely and totally forgot that it was a thing. This X-Men Avengers, and I was like, yeah, that, of course, I mean, Robbie has much more of an accurate take on the retailer buzz than I do, but hearing that told me, yeah, they're not excited for this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right,
that's why they put out like 10 different covers for it or something, just to, they got to. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so we have a couple of Dynamite books left for the night. We have Draculina number 4 FOC Virgin Incentive cover. All right, and you had to buy 7-to-1 ratio. So you had to buy 7 of the regulars to get one of the incentive FOC Virgin covers. Suggested retail of 40, we have one. Suggested retail of 50, and we have one available for 40. All right, so Sheldon.
It's a provocative cover.
All right, who among us really expected Eternals to be that successful? Pretty much king of the dollar.
No, but he's right though. That free comic book day thing. I remember one of the best comments I read on Twitter was, it was the FCBD X-Men Avengers Eternals. So you got what you paid for.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And Draculina up there. Draculina's book. We had this conversation with Draculina and Nyx. They came out very close together. Nyx hit boom like crazy. First issue or two, it took Draculina sort of a little to find its gear. And now Draculina is one of these things where it was a slow burn. But I would say to anyone, if you're looking for something kind of a little bit cool and different to read in like the Vampirella universe, of course Nyx, but Draculina for sure is. There's a bunch of cosplay covers coming up. There's much more variants coming up. Just a very cool character.
All right. So, and then last book of the night, Vampyverse presents The Vamp #1 FOC Virgin cover, also 7-to-1 ratio by Daniel Main. Suggested retail of 50. We have the one available for 40 tonight.
I am so excited for this one shot. I loved Vampyverse. I loved all these versions. I want more. And this cover, wow. This is amazing. The composition, the use of the color with the black in the front, and I love it. I think it's great. That's fantastic. And I love that outfit. It's a little Carmen Sandiego, but you got the vampy collar right there. Oh, it's good, man.
Daniel Main said that you thought I was out of name drops. I talked to Daniel Main.
Here we go.
And he told me that when he was working on it, Janine Atchison, who's Tom Snigowski's writing partner, said that they kind of wanted a particular look. They to shoot for a look that really, because this is very pulp. This is like the pulp version of Vampirella, right? The Vamp. And essentially you kind of need the big hat. If you watch any of the old black and white movies, you need the big hat, you need the shoulder pads. But that being said, I read this book last week. It's very much Vampirella. She is very much Vampirella. Some of the Vampyverse versions of the character have been a little bit too different. And I think maybe that's why some people haven't embraced them. This particular version of Vampirella, I'm going to go pester the guy next door to make more issues with this.
As long as it's not me.
But yeah, when you read this, Robbie, I think you're going to be. This has everything. It channels like a little bit of Dave Stevens. It channels a little bit of pulp. It's just very, very cool.
If only I knew somebody that could send me like a PDF copy to read in the morning or something. I don't know though, but
I don't have that. That's you. Send Rex an email.
I don't know. Robbie, he's getting John Spilios, books as LCS, but he won't do anything for you, Robbie. I don't know why.
Easier for me to send him a copy of the book.
Well, there you go. All right, so we got less than 5 minutes on best offer, so let me go through those one more time.
Do you have a package going out to Robbie anytime soon?
I can.
I'm just kidding, man. My copy's coming tomorrow, y'all. Calm down.
All right, so
he doesn't have a metal copy.
Best offer books: Stray Dogs, Dog Days #1 horror homage variant signed by Tony Fleeks. Best offer book: Preston is in the lead at 20.
Man, I love this Evil Dead cover, and this is very, very cool. If you're a horror fan,
it's a Sam Raimi night between this and the Tony Fleeks Army of Darkness '79, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Amazing Spider-Man #37, signed in silver by Nick Spencer. Best offer book: Lars Mann is in the lead at $19.62. All right, Year of the Villain, Hell Has Arisen, Encore Edition, CGC graded 9.8. Preston is in the lead at 35. And is that it? I thought there was more. What did I forget? Maybe there is. I'm losing my mind. All right,
Josh, I agree with you. I'm surprised that Marvel. I don't know if this is confidence. If this story has just broken down so well that we're going to be surprised, or if they're just sort of disconnected and they think, well, you know what, we got to put something out there,
right?
Do it, because there's almost no one I know. For me, I tend to put the Eternals, the Inhumans. I kind of tend to put them like in the same grouping, right? And as much as I hate to say it, the Inhumans are better the Inhumans have produced more commercially. I mean, remember, there was like a whole time, not only did we get like Jay Lee in an Inhuman series, but they kind of put the Inhumans out there first and foremost when they were sort of moving away from mutants, right?
Right.
I just think the Eternals, they're always a little bit weird and wonky. For me, the best version of the Eternals is Jack Kirby's work, which is now 60 years.
Getting there. Like
60
50,
years,
50.
right?
50.
And then the movie, let's be honest, some people like it, that's great. And if people liked it, that's fine. I think most people, I'll put it this way, were underwhelmed. I don't want to bag on the movie, especially if people like it, but I think people were underwhelmed.
They've never been able to capture anything for the Eternals in the comics outside of that Kirby run either. Like, they have even brought in Neil Gaiman and John Romita Jr., and it still didn't capture something. Like, I don't know.
I contributed to a comic podcast a few years ago, and somebody made that reference. Like, you got Neil Gaiman and John Romita Jr., and the gears still aren't clicking. Who else can you get?
Right. So Robbie, are you doing the movie review tonight?
Yes, we are.
All right. What is the movie? Tell us.
We are doing Isle of Dogs, the Wes Anderson, stop motion animated film. I just watched it last night when I got back from HeroCon. I got unpacked, sat down, and I watched it for the first time. I do like Wes Anderson films, but then I just kind of stopped watching a lot of new movies for a while. But man, really liked it. Very excited to talk about it. So that's tonight at 9 Eastern. Yeah.
All right. So if you haven't watched or you have watched, join Robbie on his YouTube channel, Pop Culture Philosophers, at 9 p.m. Eastern time for his movie review show that he does every week. It's a great watch.
I think Isle of Dogs is on Disney Plus. Like, if you want to check it out.
Yeah, that and Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I love that movie. So I was excited to watch this one.
Great movie, man. That is, and I hate to say it, but this is how Disney Plus continues to widen the gap, right? Yeah. So not only are they beating you on the front end with
the new stuff,
here's Obi-Wan, beat this. They're beating you on the back end with these kind of really cool movies that maybe flew under the radar a little bit.
I think that, we all knew before Disney Plus launched that they had the muscle to do this because they had the properties.
They had the muscle and the money. Yeah. Let's be honest. They had the,
And that Netflix, which then it makes the Netflix kind of complacency even more kind of vivid because, we all knew this. The normal Joe, you and me, just reading the news, we knew this, that they were going to come onto the scene and they were going to be the 800-pound gorilla.
Every time there's some kind of new media, right? Disney has a big say in what's going on, right? Because when the transition was happening to Blu-ray, you remember there was HD DVD as well.
Right.
But as soon as Disney said we're Blu-ray exclusive and best offers just ended, but as soon as they said they're Blu-ray exclusive, it was over. It was over. HD DVD was done.
Was done. Yeah, it was, and it was like this too. Like, you would go to the store, people who were still going to Circuit City or whatever to buy this stuff, they were gone.
Yeah.
Like the next month when they redid the end caps, gone.
It's just, I just feel like they fell asleep at the wheel and they really had an opportunity to compete and they just didn't do it. They just kind of buried their head in the sand like an ostrich and figured out this will go away.
You can make the argument that what's happened to them is what they did to Blockbuster, right?
That's true.
Blockbuster, it's like the evolve or die thing. It's like, what did the last Sabretooth say?
Yeah. I guess that's true.
You know what I mean? It's just one of these deals where, Beta, VHS did it to Beta, right? And then, DVD did it to Laserdisc, and then you started getting the different formats of DVDs. And then in the retail outlet, people don't forget, Suncoast Video had hundreds of stores. They disappeared in 90 days.
Tower Records.
Every town had a Blockbuster. Some had multiple Blockbusters. Gone. Because people didn't sort of sense. Netflix had this thing of, you really want to go to Blockbuster and hope you get the movie? Or do you want to just let us know?
And we'll send it to you.
And we'll send it to you. And we'll even send you the mailer thing back or whatever.
Yeah, just drop it in the mailbox.
the olds remember getting the Netflix envelope. You had to open it carefully so you didn't wreck the send back
And then they had the
envelope.
vending machines. Remember those?
And then Redbox came, and I think that everything is about convenience. Now you look at Netflix and you're like, I want to watch what I want to watch. If I'm a horror fan, I tell people this all the time. All Shudder needs to do is promote themselves more.
Right.
Every single person I've talked to about Shudder, they try it, whether it's a 1 day or 1 month trial, whatever it is, and they keep it. If you're a horror fan, Shudder is the business. There is no reason to not have that. Ton of content. They're always adding stuff. And it's just not that expensive. I think it's Robbie, maybe you know better than I do. I think it's $7.99 a month. $6.99 a month.
Like, I think you can even get it cheaper if you go yearly. I think it can be like $5 or something. It's super, super cheap.
We wound up getting like AMC Plus so I can watch like Breaking Bad and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, by the way, here's Shudder.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I wound up canceling my Shudder subscription because they sort of like, merged it or whatever.
Right. I think it is AMC that does it, but I'm not 100%. But they have a great catalog of horror films. I do a horror show with my buddy Dylan on his channel, Dylan's Horror Show, every Saturday, and a lot of the movies we cover are on Shudder.
Well, that shows. I mean, I think Shudder has the right idea. Focus on just one type of fan and try to expand that way. Whereas Netflix has tried to make everybody happy and made really no one happy. And I think they've overestimated what people, or underestimated what people wanted to watch.
They're asking people to pay, and I get everybody gets different discounts from whatever platform they're on or whatever. But if you just want a Netflix subscription, I believe it's $20 a month. And now they're tinkering around with ads. So like an ad-free version, it'd be like $24.95.
Right.
You are priced way beyond your value.
Yeah.
I don't care how much people like Stranger Things or whatever. Netflix isn't a 12-month-a-year subscription anymore.
I would agree.
There are subscriptions you need 12 months of the year. Netflix, you can take the winter. It's cold. Maybe you don't go out too much. You throw it on for 3 months.
Right.
Spring comes. Netflix comes right out of the queue. It's just not. They don't have enough stuff. And if you're an older person, all you see is foreign content and shows that are sort of not to your liking.
Right. All right. Looks like we're out of time. However, I want to thank Robbie. Tune into his channel tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for his movie review show. I think we have Mishmash following us after this at 8. Thank you again to Robbie for joining us.
Sorry tonight about the the little hiccups or whatever. Thanks everyone for joining us.
As always, we appreciate you. And we'll be back Wednesday with Alec from AR Comics, and Nick will be here with his original art show on Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Check out Robbie's show, 9 o'clock.
Yep, definitely check out Robbie's movie
Thank
review
you, Robbie.
show at 9, and we'll be back on Wednesday with Alec. All right, thank you, everybody.
Have a good night, everybody.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.